Could this be one of your last opportunities to buy ICP at a discounted rate? Could you be in the future kicking yourself thinking, why didn't I buy now? What was I doing? I'm such an idiot. Or do you think that perhaps you might be an idiot because you're buying now and you think it could go lower? Well, as always, nobody can predict where crypto is going to go, but we can look at the signals, and there is a few things that will give us a sign of what's going to happen. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you my thoughts on the way that crypto is going, because sneak peek, it's all looking a little bit bullish right now, but there is definitely some points that could hold it back, and we'll be discussing those in this video and what my thoughts are for ICP. Now, if you saw my last video, a lot of you were kind of butthurt about that. Me saying that I don't think it's going to 10x from here, which that is just my opinion, guys. It could absolutely well do that. I think it's going to do that in the next bull run 100%. But in this one, I'm still not sure. But anyway, we'll leave that to that video. But for this video, we're going to be talking about what I think is going to happen now, because I think it's kind of good news. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be just basically saying what I think you should be doing right now, because basically I'm just saying what I'm doing. So obviously stick to your own guns, but this is just my advice. And hopefully you're watching just to maybe get a second opinion on what you should be doing, because kind of nobody knows right now, right? Like, it's all looking a bit iffy. We've been trading sideways for a while and nobody kind of knows which way it's going to go. You've got some people saying we're going to go down to the 40, 50K. You've got other people saying that we are now starting the big massive bull run, which we've all been waiting for. So which is it? And anyway, before we get into it, guys, if you do like the video or you just want to leave me some angry comments, please like and subscribe. I'm welcoming it all. Your opinions are always welcome. And as always, I am stuck. And also I have a Telegram group with literally nothing going on, but the first 100 members will get access to any paid things I do in the future, just as a thank you for supporting me. But I will start to put some thoughts in there when we get a few more members and etc. But anyway, let's get into the video. So Bitcoin, right? We have just been trading sideways and slowly downwards, but we saw this big little dip here. And the one thing that we can actually link this to is if we look at the spot Bitcoin ETF flows, we can see that from pretty much March, it was a lot of inflows and a lot of outflows. And obviously we were just kind of seeing a bit of both along the way, but this has kind of slowed down a lot. But why am I talking about Bitcoin, may you ask? You're like, I thought this is a video on ICP, what are you doing? Well, as we know, the price of ICP is very much linked to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin went to zero tomorrow, I'm pretty sure ICP would feel some pain. Not saying it will go to zero, but it's going to feel a lot of pain, because pretty much every crypto is linked to the price of Bitcoin at this moment. I think Solana is slightly disconnected from that. I have spoken about this in previous videos, just because people kind of see it for its own utility that it has right now, which again, a lot of things like ICP are still in their infancy. Got a lot of run in sense of amazing technology, etc. But it's not quite there yet. We haven't seen that utilization. So we are kind of just built on the price of the rest of the crypto market. But anyway, getting back to this ETF flows, we can see that things have started to look a little bit more sprucey. So things are starting to come back to life in the ETF. And actually, we saw this massive outflow on the 1st of May. And quite rightly, if we look at the Bitcoin chart, we can see that on the 1st of May, we saw a massive dip to the downside. So actually, this price is very much linked to the ETF in that respect. And then we see on the 3rd of May, we see a massive rally. So we can see this massive rally on the 3rd of May, which has caused it to go up. Obviously, that's 370 million, which really isn't a lot of money in the sense of 1 trillion. But why does this keep linking up to this? And if you think about it, a lot of people have put a lot of pressure on this ETF, and everyone's just trying to find a signal to basically figure out what is going to happen next in crypto. And the spot ETF flows have just become a part of that. As soon as those ETF flows slowed down, people started to get a bit cold feet. People were selling, people were panicking, and it's pretty much just been happening since we saw that massive rally off of this ETF flows. And I'm not saying this is the only thing, guys. There are a lot of other things in this, but I just believe also a lot of selling pressure has happened here. And if we take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation map, we can see that we have a lot of liquidation either side. And obviously here we kind of wore that out, and then we started to see a bit of a trend upwards. So at the moment we have a lot of liquidity leverage above and quite a bit below, and that's kind of why we are just trading sideways. Obviously not the whole reason, but my thought is this market could go either way. If we get Bitcoin towards the upside and we break that 67k mark, then we can see the start of the altcoin season where everyone just gets a bit greedy. They see the price going up, everyone's like, shit, I'm holding money, I'm just start FOMOing in, and we just build that momentum rally which we expect. These bull pushes just kind of happen pretty momentously where everyone just sort of FOMOs in, but we're in this sort of stalemate market where nothing's really happening. There's a lot of pressure on either side, and we sort of found our balance now. Nothing's really kind of happening, so something just needs to break to push that out of whack. And as we can see, we've tested this 57k mark. If Bitcoin goes up to that 67k and we do see all of that liquidation sort of fizzle out, then we're going to see that monumentous rally. And then what does that mean? Then that money's going to feed into something like ICP. If we do see a push to the downside, then we can see it test somewhere in the 50Ks. But that's not very helpful. What can I do in that respect? You're telling me it could go up, could go down. Everyone's kind of saying that. Well, we haven't really been in this position for a while. Obviously, I made videos a month ago or so saying that ICP's time to rally, and it very much was, but this is anyone's game right now. And in anyone's game, what you should be doing is being conservative. You should be averaging in, you should be holding some money on the sidelines just in case, because if this goes massively against you, then you have more money to put in. If this massively goes for you, then you're winning on most parts. So you could either go all in on one aspect and believe one or the other, but you definitely do risk your chances of getting butthurt, or you make your chances of making a lot. It could go any way for you. My opinion, we are very close to this huge bull rally. And even if you look at when that ETF came out, if we look at the 1 year, we can see that when it came out in January, the news kind of faded, right? The news faded, it kind of tumbled down, and then all of a sudden it just roared into action. At the moment, we're kind of seeing a similar thing. Obviously, there was some bad press and then Bitcoin kind of tumbled down. But at the moment, there's not really any bad press. Maybe the next inflation data could be bad or something like that. But guys, you need to remember that we're still very much in a bull run, and bull runs do have pullbacks. We pull back, what, 20% maximum if you take really the bottom there. So really what we pull back, sort of a maximum of 20%. That's kind of expected. Bitcoin has a lot of 20% pullbacks. More than that is kind of a bit more unusual. So everything that happened is kind of within the playbook. I would expect that we're going to see push to the upside. Am I going all in? Not entirely, but I have got quite a lot in. I'm kind of betting more towards the upside. And then ultimately we would start to see the climb of ICP once that does happen. Because ICP holders, you are very much doing a bit of a push. Obviously we had this, which was great, but then God giveth and God taketh away, because we pretty much saw the rally down. Anyway, guys, it's a bit of a somber one. We will see what kind of happens. I'm betting that we do see that big rally soon, but there is always that potential for a bit more downside. It is pretty much anyone's game at the moment. The feed greed index is sitting at 61, last week at 50. So we're starting to see a lot more people get optimistic. And when a lot more people get optimistic and we start to see those rallies, everything kind of gets good. People kind of get a bit too greedy, and then when that bad news comes out, everything comes tumbling. But we're kind of in the middle at the moment, so let's see how it unfolds. Anyway, guys, if you liked the video, like and subscribe. Thanks.